Imagine a world beneath ours, hidden, vast, full of whispers and shadows. This is the dark web, a labyrinth of anonymized servers and encrypted communication. It's a place where the curious and the criminal collide, a digital Wild West with its own set of rules. The dark web, far from the watchful eyes of search engines and government agencies, became a haven for the illicit. Drugs, weapons, stolen data. If it was illegal, it was for sale here. At the heart of this digital black market was Silk Road, a website that promised anonymity, security, and a treasure trove of forbidden goods. Launched in 2011, Silk Road operated as a hidden online marketplace, accessible only through Tor. Transactions were conducted in Bitcoin, adding another layer of anonymity. The mastermind behind this digital empire was a mystery, known only by the pseudonym Dread Pirate Roberts. The story of Silk Road begins with Ross William Ulbricht, a libertarian idealist from Texas. Ulbricht, under the pseudonym Dread Pirate Roberts, envisioned an untraceable marketplace free from regulation. He combined the anonymity of the Tor network with Bitcoin, creating a virtually untraceable system. Silk Road, named after the ancient trade route, went live in early 2011. Initially a rudimentary digital flea market, word spread quickly through the dark corners of the internet. The site's promise of anonymity and security attracted a growing user base. Driven by a mix of anonymity and the allure of the forbidden, Silk Road became the go-to destination for illegal goods. The marketplace flourished under Ulbricht's watchful eye. The more successful it became, the more attention it drew from both eager customers and wary authorities. As Silk Road grew, so did the legend of Dread Pirate Roberts. He was a digital ghost, dispensing wisdom and instructions from behind a veil of encryption. His pronouncements on the site's forums were treated as gospel by the growing community of users. Behind the libertarian rhetoric, Dread Pirate Roberts was a shrewd businessman. Silk Road implemented a system of ratings and reviews, allowing users to vouch for the quality of goods and the reliability of vendors. The site also introduced an escrow system, holding funds until both parties were satisfied with the transaction. Silk Road wasn't just a black market, it was a thriving community with its own set of rules. Millions of dollars flowed through the site, making Dread Pirate Roberts incredibly wealthy. But his success painted a bigger target on Silk Road's back. The rise of Silk Road did not go unnoticed. Law enforcement agencies around the world were aware of the site's existence and its growing popularity. Bringing down Silk Road became a top priority, but the site's sophisticated security measures made it a daunting target. The investigation was further complicated by the decentralized nature of the dark web. Unlike the surface web, dark websites like Silk Road were constantly moving, hidden behind layers of encryption. Traditional investigative techniques were useless in this shadowy realm. Despite the challenges, a dedicated team of agents from multiple agencies began to chip away at Silk Road's defenses. They infiltrated the site's forums, posing as buyers and sellers, gathering intelligence, and slowly building a case. It was a tedious and dangerous game, with agents operating in the dark, never knowing who they could trust. But they were relentless, driven by a sense of justice and a determination to bring down Dread Pirate Roberts. At the heart of the investigation was a young agent named Chris Tarbell. A digital native with a knack for coding, Tarbell was uniquely qualified for the task at hand. He understood that traditional investigative techniques wouldn't be enough to crack Silk Road's defenses. Tarbell and his team worked tirelessly, following digital breadcrumbs and analyzing lines of code. They scoured forums, monitored transactions, and traced Bitcoin flows, looking for any clue that could lead them to Dread Pirate Roberts. The investigation took them across the globe, collaborating with international agencies and following leads down rabbit holes. But Tarbell refused to give up, knowing that everyone makes mistakes, especially when the stakes are high. The chase was on, a digital game of cat and mouse between a brilliant criminal mastermind and a relentless agent. It was a battle fought in the shadows, a clash of wits and technology. The outcome would have far-reaching implications for the future of crime, privacy, and the internet. Months turned into years, and the investigation continued. Tarbell and his team were closing in, but Dread Pirate Roberts seemed to be one step ahead. They had uncovered several of his associates, but the identity of Dread Pirate Roberts remained a mystery. He was like a phantom, always lurking in the background, pulling the strings but never revealing his true face. The agents needed a break, a smoking gun that would link their evidence to the man behind the mask. That break came in the most unexpected of places, a simple coding error. In a moment of carelessness, Dread Pirate Roberts revealed his real email address on a public forum. Tarbell, with his meticulous attention to detail, spotted it instantly. The email address led them to Ross William Ulbricht, a seemingly ordinary young man living a double life. The mask had finally slipped, and the man behind the legend was about to be exposed. Armed with their newfound knowledge, Tarbell and his team moved quickly to build their case against Ulbricht. They analyzed his online activity, tracked his movements, and monitored his communications. The evidence was overwhelming. It was clear that Ulbricht was not just a user or even an administrator on Silk Road. He was Dread Pirate Roberts. The agents also uncovered a darker side to Ulbricht's story. In their pursuit of bringing down the Silk Road, they discovered evidence suggesting Ulbricht had resorted to extreme measures to protect his empire. Allegations surfaced of hired hitmen and threats of violence against those who threatened to expose him. The case was taking a sinister turn. The man who had once championed freedom and liberty was now implicated in activities that directly contradicted those ideals. The authorities knew who he was, where he lived, and what he had done. It was only a matter of time before they made their move. On October 1st, 2013, the digital walls finally came crashing down. Agents swooped in on a San Francisco library where Ulbricht was logged onto Silk Road under his true identity. It was a carefully planned operation, designed to catch him red-handed and prevent him from destroying any evidence. The arrest of Ross William Ulbricht sent shockwaves through the dark web. The seemingly untouchable Dread Pirate Roberts had been caught. His reign over the Silk Road brought to an abrupt end. The trial of Ulbricht was a media sensation. The prosecution presented a mountain of evidence, painting him as a ruthless criminal mastermind. They argued that Silk Road had fueled addiction, facilitated crime, and cost lives. In the end, the jury sided with the prosecution. Ulbricht was found guilty on all charges and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The fall of Silk Road marked a turning point in the fight against cybercrime. It proved that even the most sophisticated and seemingly anonymous criminal enterprises were not beyond the reach of law enforcement. The legacy of Silk Road is a complex one, exposing the dark underbelly of the internet. It also showcased the power of technology to empower individuals and create alternative systems of trade. The story of Silk Road raises important questions about privacy, security, and the role of government in the digital age. It serves as a cautionary tale about the seductive nature of power and the high cost of breaking the law. In the years since the fall of Silk Road, the dark web has continued to evolve. New marketplaces have emerged, each more sophisticated and harder to track than the last. The cat-and-mouse game between criminals and law enforcement continues, a digital arms race with no end in sight. The story of Silk Road is a reminder that the internet is not a lawless frontier. As we venture further into the digital age, we must grapple with the ethical and legal challenges posed by technologies that empower us. The story of Silk Road serves as a stark reminder of the stakes involved.